This was the first time that television cameras had watched the long walk to the other house and the ritual at its end.
Tomorrow we will see this strange ritual enacted one more time. Before she delivers her annual speech, the Queen sends a messenger to fetch MPs. They slam the door in his face.
The House is jealous of its freedom from dictation.
If anything, over the years, the event has become even more theatrical.
Close the doors!
But some MPs want to know what happened to this principle last week when the police came a-knocking. But instead of slamming the door in the face of the agents of the Crown, in this case the police, or at least asking them some pretty searching questions about just what it is they're looking for, the present House of Commons authorities stand accused of rolling over, simply opening the door and saying, "Come right in, have a good look around, have a good rummage." Tonight, the Conservatives released this footage of the police search.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I'm the Senior Political and Parliamentary Advisor to David Cameron.
Okay.
Can you just explain a bit more what's going on?
Can you turn that camera off?
Could I just ask you to leave? Is that possible? This is currently a scene that we're going to search, and it's not appropriate that you be in here.
Well,
Are you sure? Yeah. Is that
It appears there were 3 officers involved in the search. One in purple gloves seems to be photographing the office. Today, the man who is acting head of the Metropolitan Police has ordered an investigation into just how these events happened, a development that's been welcomed on all sides of politics.
Major questions still surrounding the police decision to launch the raid, conduct the arrest and so on of a leading opposition MP. Secondly, I think it is essential, and this is what will all, of course, come to light tomorrow, the Parliament itself, MPs themselves, need to have an opportunity to discuss exactly what are the rights of MPs to hold ministers to account.
The report into the raid will be produced in just 2 weeks. One former senior police officer says the police are at a huge disadvantage.
The frustration now is that there's a massive debate going on about major constitutional issues, but with only part of the information, and the police cannot give that information because they're involved in an investigation to prosecution. So it's a bit odd that we're having this debate and yet only half the information's known.
Hello.
The Prime Minister, meanwhile, is doing his best to stay out of the row.
There's going to be a time when all these things are going to be investigated and reviewed after the police finish their work. And MPs, of course, have got to be allowed to get on with the job. But no MP is above the law, and there has got to be operational independence for the police.
On this corner of the Palace of Westminster lies the Speaker's apartments, his official residence, where Michael Martin lives in some style at the taxpayers' expense. But in return for that, MPs expect him to be very jealous in protecting the rights of Parliament against an overmighty executive. But an email that emerged last night suggests, in the minds of some MPs at least, that Michael Martin might be guilty of being involved in a stitch-up with ministers. As Big Ben struck 1 today, a meeting was starting across Whitehall at the instigation of the Leader of the Commons, Harriet Harman. We know this because the email invitation was also sent to a Conservative by mistake. It says it was to discuss considerations in advance of the Speaker's statement on police action and Parliament. The list of those invited is top level. The Leader of the Commons, Harriet Harman, insists this was only to discuss the timing of the Speaker's statement because it's taking place on the same day as the Queen's speech. Now, if for a moment we manage to park our incredulity that such an amazingly high-powered group of people should meet to discuss the mere timing of the Speaker's statement, well, that case is rather undone by the fact that the email inviting people to attend had a document attached, and here it is. It is Harriet Harman's 4 principles of parliamentary privilege, where she sets out what she thinks, at least, the message should be.
Here it seems that the government is almost treating the Speaker of the House of Commons, Mr Martin, as their patsy, as someone who they can almost haul in to brief about the line to take. It further undermines confidence in Speaker Michael Martin.
What can he do tomorrow to satisfy you, do you think?
Quit.
That's unlikely to happen tomorrow, but opposition parties have indicated that they won't be happy with some sort of let's wait and see holding statement from Michael Martin. They want a full explanation of just how the police came to raid an MP's office, and then they want a full debate.
Well, now with us in the studio